Good morning, all. Today we will start with parietal lobe. In the previous class, we have started with cerebral cortex, and in the cerebral cortex, we have studied about the frontal lobe. We have studied about the precentral and prefrontal lobe. These are the two parts of frontal lobe. Now, in this class, we will continue with cerebral cortex. In this cerebral cortex, in this class, we are going to study about parietal lobe, which is mainly a sensory lobe here. Now this parietal lobe of cerebral cortex, it extends from central sulcus and merges with occipital lobe behind and temporal lobe below. This lobe is separated from occipital lobe by parieto-occipital sulcus and from temporal lobe by median sulcus. Here in this diagram you can see this is the parietal lobe. Anterior to this there is a frontal lobe, and posteriorly there is occipital lobe, and below there is temporal lobe. Parietal lobe is divided into three functional areas, that is somesthetic area 1, somesthetic area 2 and somesthetic association area. In addition to these three areas, a part of sensory motor area is also situated in the parietal lobe. Now first one is about the somesthetic area 1. Somesthetic area 1 is also called as somatosensory area 1 or primary somesthetic or primary sensory area. The areas of somesthetic area 1 has three areas which are called as area number 3, 1 and 2. Anterior part of this forms area 3 and posterior part forms areas 1 and 2. Here in this diagram you can see somesthetic area 1. In this there are three areas are there, 3, 1 and 2. The anterior part is area 3 and posteriorly there is area 1 and 2. Localization or homunculus. Different sensory areas of the body are represented in postcentral gyrus or primary sensory area. So different areas of the body are represented in this primary sensory area in an inverted manner. All these areas are represented in the inverted manner, as in the motor area. Toes are represented in lowest part of medial surface, legs at the upper border of hemispheres, then from above downwards, knee, thigh, hip, trunk, upper limb, neck and face, they are represented here. The representation of face is not inverted. Face is not presented in the inverted manner. Here in this diagram you can see the various areas of the body are represented here in this primary sensory area or somesthetic area 1. So all the sensations of the body, they will reach here, same like motor areas. In area number 4, in motor area they are represented, and here in case of sensory areas in parietal lobe, all the sensations will come here. The next thing is about the functions of somesthetic area 1. The first function is somesthetic area 1 is responsible for perception and integration of cutaneous and kinesthetic sensations. It receives sensory impulses from cutaneous receptors, touch, that is touch, pressure, pain, temperature receptor, and proprioceptive receptors of opposite side through thalamic radiation. Area 1 is concerned with sensory perception, and area number 3 and 2 are involved in the integration of these sensations. So this area receives sensations. Then the second function of this somesthetic area 1 is this area sends sensory feedback to the premotor area. And third function is this area is also concerned with the movements of head and eyeballs. Fourth function is discriminative functions. In addition to perception of cutaneous and kinesthetic sensation, this area is also responsible for recognizing the discriminative natures of sensations. So what is this discriminative nature? Discriminative nature, there are three discriminative natures are there. First one is spatial recognition, that is tactile localization, 2-point discrimination, and recognition of position and passive movements of limbs. These all things will come under spatial recognition. Then second one is recognition of intensity of different stimuli, to recognize what is the intensity of that stimuli. Third one is recognition of similarities and differences between the stimuli. So this is the third nature. They have to recognize what is the similarity and what is the differences between the two stimuli. So all these three things will come under discriminative functions. Effect of lesion of somesthetic area 1. If there is any lesion in the somesthetic area 1, here if the lesion is only in the sensory area without involvement of thalamus, then the sensations are still perceived, but the discriminative functions are lost. If the thalamus also is affected by lesion, there is loss of sensations in the opposite side of the body. The next one is about somesthetic area 2. Here you can see, here this is somesthetic area 2. This one is somesthetic area 2. Somesthetic area 2 is situated in post-central gyrus below the area of face of somesthetic area 1. A part of this is buried in sylvian sulcus. It is also known as secondary somesthetic area or somatosensory area 2. The functions of this area: somesthetic area 2 receives sensory impulses from somesthetic area 1 and from thalamus directly. Though the exact role of this area is not clear, it is concerned with perception of sensation. Thus, the sensory parts of body have two representations in somesthetic area 1 and area 2. Then the third one is about somesthetic association area. Here in this diagram, you can see this is somesthetic association area. Area 5 and area 7, here you can see in this diagram, somesthetic association area. Somesthetic association area is situated posterior to postcentral gyrus above the auditory cortex and in front of visual cortex. It has two areas, that is area number 5 and 7. The functions of somesthetic association area. Somesthetic association area is concerned with synthesis of various sensations perceived by somesthetic area 1. So it synthesizes and associates the sensations. Thus the somesthetic association area forms the center for combined sensations like stereognosis. Any lesion of this area is a stereognosis. So this is about the parietal lobe.